But... Okay. Why wouldn't you go as far to call it interrogation? You're certain you interrogated him the day before the show? Yes, around 3 AM on the 27th. 3 at night. That matches the time of death on Knightley's autopsy report. You summoned him that late at night and he wasn't asleep. Well, a guard was attacked in Knightley's cell, remember? After that incident, we checked his cell and inquired about the circumstances. I'm sure an old assignment made it hard to sleep. It was wide awake, you know. So even though it was highly irregular, you still carried out this late-night interrogation. Edgeworth here is so mean. Ugh. It may have been irregular, but the truth is I had him moved. You call it what you like, it still doesn't change the facts. Please excuse him. I'll give my incompetent apprentice a good scolding later. But for now, mademoiselle, what do you mean when you say you had him moved? I thought it was obvious, mademoiselle. I spoke to him in my office. Her office. The route she used to move Knightley's body. Please add that statement to your testimony. Of course. 3 on the day before the show. The day before the show. And yet this happens. 3 hours, that's 6 AM. You had the autopsy report, right? 3 AM. Yeah. Present. Nice. And where is your office located exactly? You know that sign in the detention center hallway? You mean the one that says no entry? Yes, it's just a short walk up that aisles, about 5 minutes from the cell block. So that room exists into the courtyard. Of course, that side of the courtyard is my private garden. Oh, I get it. You're gonna say I used that route to move the body. Indeed, you must have been able to use it. You used that route. But now this is merely a possibility. There's no decisive evidence to support it. But there is no other way the body could have been moved. Surely you haven't forgotten my theory that Simon Keyes dropped the body in the well. That's right, that's right. What she said. Pursuing this point further would be hazardous. Talk to all the new arrivals. Okay, but 3 AM, that's kinda sus, lady, because... Oh no! That didn't do it! That did not do it! Oh! God dang it. To think things over a little more. Yes, yes, yes. Fine. Just brought into the office. Also make sure to talk to Nero. What did you talk about? Well, indeed. It was just dribbling a conversation. What kind of animals you liked, what hobbies were, that sort of thing. Hobbies? I assume you mentioned chess. Oh yes, that's all Knightley would ever talk about. Now that I think about it, the note he had in his room probably had something to do with chess too. So Warden Roland saw Knightley's note. Had a little chat. What was the little chat? And what was Knightley like during the interrogation? He was very honest. Mr. Knightley was honest, pal. He also talked about a croissant and some kind of promo? And croissant and chess piece promotions, I presume. Looks like he was his usual chess-loving self. He went right back to his cell. Okay. If he really returned to his cell, there was no way he would be a corpse now. I know you're suggesting that I killed him during the interrogation, but I couldn't possibly have had a motive to kill Knightley, could I? Dogen was the only one I hated, and he had no connection with the victim. She only hated Dogen. Please add that statement to your testimony. Ooh, we know he does. The only one you hated was Dogen. Am I correct? Yes, threatening me and doing whatever he wants to do in his prison. That man, I will never forgive him. I will do whatever it takes to corner him. And his black dog, too. They are fit to live in my home. She's brimming with hostility, and towards Dogen's dog. At first glance, it would seem she had no motive for killing Knightley. However, while hostility extends to anyone connected to Dogen, I consider that the answer would naturally follow. She chats with the criminals. The warden sure is easygoing, pal. Easygoing? She killed one of the criminals, you know. Since the guy was handcuffed, it would have been a pretty one-sided affair. Warden Roland has to be the killer. I have faith in my reasoning so far. Okay, so we have our line of thought. We know that Dogen has no connection to him, really. But she doesn't know that. Judge Courtney, I'd like you to have a look at this. It looks like a record of a chess game. Is there something wrong with it? This was discovered in the victim's cell. It was Knightley's memo. Warden Roland, you also discovered this note in the very same place. And not just in Knightley's cell, but in Dogen's too, correct? What are you Don't say you don't know about the chessboard in the special cell. After all, you would have kept an eye on Dogen's actions, down to the smallest detail. No, to be more precise, it wasn't Dogen that you needed to keep an eye on. The warden was searching for Mr. Dogen's henchman! From the start, I found it strange that the warden interrogated the prisoners personally, since he used his henchmen to threaten harm to her family. Warden Roland interrogated Dogen to expose them. So, what are you saying? As you inspected Dogen's mail, you must have known that he played correspondence chess. And that Knightley appeared with a chess memo in hand. He deduced that he and Dogen were connected. Or we deduced. You have arrived at the same conclusion as well. However, you went one step too far in your reasoning. You thought Knightley was one of Dogen's henchmen, who had come to kill you. So that's why you interrogated Knightley, boy. He and the boss won't crack. Go after his henchmen. In addition, you discovered something when you were interrogating him. Inside his chessboard, you found a portable chisel. The murder weapon. To Warden Roland, the chisel was a symbol of Dogen. And that was the final straw. You believed Knightley was one of Dogen's henchmen, and you killed him! It seems there were no rebuttals. Judge Courtney, your verdict? Though it is incredibly unfortunate, there seems to be no room for doubt. I shall announce my verdict for the murder of Florence Knight. Twice my sacred verdict was interrupted. Who was that? Warden Roland. Oh, strange! You guys really don't understand anything! But seeing the one who doesn't understand is you. Me? Oh, I understand one thing very well. There's a huge contradiction in your logic, Mr. Edgeworth! Once she's cornered, she starts spouting nonsense. Hey, no heed. Judge Courtney, your verdict. I am interested in hearing what the warden has to say. What? I thought so. I just have one thing I want to say. One? Please take a good look at the autopsy report. The autopsy report? The one I brought with me. I had exactly what you said earlier, Justine darling. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches. No way. Could that tiny chisel really have made a wound 4 inches deep? Impossible! How could I have made such an error? Oh, forgive me, goddess of law. Now, I believe that overturns your hypothesis. What will you do now, Mr. Edgeworth? What'll we do? You know, it'll be alright, pal. Mr. Edgeworth always... Whoa, hey now, he's got a light. Hey, you're the defense attorney, aren't you? Isn't there something you can do, pal? Do that turnabout thing and make some earth-shattering injunction. Uncle Ray's a hard worker, but without decisive evidence, we're just whipping a dead horse here. Does that mean it's hopeless? True killer's Warden Roland. If it's not her, then nothing that's happened fits. But the chisel isn't the murder weapon? Are there any other sharp objects here? There are still many mysteries remaining in this case. However, we do not have the evidence to solve them at this present time. We have no choice but to continue this battle in the courtroom.
Objection.
That would just give the killer a chance to destroy evidence. Are you mocking the court? No. I didn't mean anything like that. You look perplexed. Miles, thought of anything yet? Chisel's not the murder weapon. In that case, what is? It's no use. We're back where we started. No objections, Prosecutor Edgeworth. By the way, any baseless statesman will be punished accordingly. It's no good. I can't think of anything. I need more time. I forget to say I have no... No, Mr. Edgeworth! Remember what Mr. Shields said. We give up, Simon will. Have you forgotten that sad look on his face? He was the one who suffered most from Knightley's death. We can't save him. Who will? Besides, Simon believes in us, so we can't give up. Okay. Miles, looks like you found a good partner. It's like little Kay says. Whenever you're backed into a corner, think of your client. Keep fighting until the very end. Not the feeling you're getting? Gregory, old man, no matter how much trouble you faced, he would always turn things around to save his client. He got his blood in you, right? In that case, you're the only one who could turn this around. Judge Courtney? The look in your eyes suddenly changed. If you do intend to speak, you better be prepared to face the consequences. Your logic thus far has been misplaced numerous times. If this were to happen again, I would consider you unfit to call yourself a prosecutor. And you will hand over your badge. That's right. My reasoning about this case has indeed been misplaced numerous times. Have I made a great miscalculation? Wait, my logic is misplaced? Still silent. Can I condone this waste of time? Well then, Mr. Edgeworth! Mr. Edgeworth! I will announce my verdict. That's it. I have to turn my logic around. My logic isn't misplaced. It's been misled! This court finds the defendant, Simon Keyes. Isn't it a little early to hand down a verdict? I actually think it's rather late. Don't you agree, Justine darling? Enlighten us. What? Try to remember the eyewitness account about his dog and his absence from the animal show. When I first heard that information, my suspicion immediately fell on Dogen. I'm amazed you take such pride in retelling of previous failings. But was that not the killer's aim? If we assume that was their intention from the start. Of course, the chisels serve the same purpose. Knightley's body was stabbed in the same spot with multiple sharp objects. This shows that he was stabbed with a chisel after the real murder weapon was removed. By soaking the chisel in Knightley's blood, the killer wanted to mislead us into thinking the chisel was the murder weapon. Why? That's because... Why did the killer want us to think the chisel was the murder weapon? To get Dogen expelled. Warden Roland, you made use of this chisel's image. Chisel's image? What are you trying to say? Mr. the Best, when you see this chisel, what does this suggest to you? Something like Dogen is the killer, right? Now, do you understand? That was the Warden's aim. Ah, she wanted us to suspect the person with the chisels. Indeed, that was her plan from the very beginning. To make Shihon Dogen out to be the killer. I understand your logic. It is true the Warden did not think kindly of Dogen. But, you understand, don't you? This alone does not prove she is the killer. As I thought, not enough. The remaining chance is for me to find the real murder weapon. If you have no more evidence, I believe this conversation is over. I could prove it. I found the real murder weapon. It doesn't matter what you say. We did a clean sweep of this place. It is as Sebastian says. In the end, we could not find any weapons. In other words, such proof is impossible. No, the murder weapon must have been somewhere in the prison. As long as this exists. The security gate? Remember its name after all. Are you mocking me? It's because of those things! You can't take metal objects in or out of this place. Ah! Right. As long as the security gates exist, the murder weapon should still be here. That also means no weapon could have been brought into the prison. In the end, we're back to the same mystery after all. Judge Courtney? Prosecutor Edgeworth, surely you've realized, if the real murder weapon is still in the prison, one must also consider how it got there in the first place. The chisel was concealed within the chessboard, but the chisel is not the real murder weapon. Which means the real murder weapon must have been smuggled in somehow. The way it was smuggled in, can you prove that? How Warden Roland brought the weapon into the prison? You had evidence transferred from the precinct? Yes, we borrowed all the evidence concerning Dogen. We've been interrogating him personally in my office, but... That's it! She could have used that! This shows another way a weapon could have been brought into the prison. Prison investigation. Roland searched the entire prison, but no. No, that's not it. Not the autopsy thing, not any of those. Not the prison roll call. Not the floor plans. It doesn't really show, does it? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. There's a small bell attached to it. I guess, because there's only 2 bells, right? The knife has been confiscated right there. We got it. Boom. Yesterday, Dogen said this. Yes, my bells. There are only 2 in the world. Only 2? They're custom made, attached to my knife in Anubis's collar. Even though I cannot rely on my ears, I could easily identify them. Alas, one has been confiscated and is not in my possession. It's possible the murder weapon was brought in as confiscated evidence. What? Dogen's knife was confiscated and stored on the premise. Furthermore, a bell was attached to the knife. It can't be. The bell on that chisel. Exactly. The killer took it from the knife and reattached it to the chisel. But the only fingerprints on the chisel are Knightley's. The killer probably wore gloves when they made the switch. She made the chisel out to be the murder weapon by attaching Dogen's bell. In doing so, made Dogen appear to be the culprit. Furthermore, the handling of the set of evidence that this bell originally belonged to was only possible for someone with the proper authority. Whoa, who, sir? Who had that authority? Why don't we ask the warden what she thinks? You can find bells anywhere. Anyone could have attached it, right? I see. So you don't know. These bells are Dogen's trademark. There are only 2 in the world. What? What? And so, attaching the bell would naturally make you the killer. Do you have any evidence that I have the knife? You don't, do you? Of course, I understand. In that case, Mr. Best, I'd like to request an investigation immediately. But if you find it, it'll be problematic for me. That doesn't matter now. It's necessary we reveal the truth. You are a prosecutor, are you not? Well, even if you say that... Curse this useless prosecutor. Only I had investigative rights. Besides, we can't investigate without the warden's permission, right? There's no way she would approve. We have no choice but to investigate ourselves. If you don't have evidence, there's no use in continuing this conversation. The goddess of law does not smile upon those with no evidence. This will have to be continued in the courtroom. Not good. If we give the warden more time here, she'll definitely destroy the evidence. It seems like I have no choice but to raise an objection and stall for time. But I don't have anything to defiant. Is that really acceptable? Is it really like me to do something this reckless? No, not good. How is it not the time for hesitation? Right now, I'm not a prosecutor. but an attorney's assistant. I need to protect my client. I'm the only one who could save him now. In that case, even if it's only a 1 in a million chance, I have to take it. Sink or swim. Should I raise an objection? Almost feels like I've turned into a certain bluffing defense attorney. Right now, I can't come to a standstill here.
Objection!
Hold it! Prosecutor Edgeworth, what now? I just realized something. What would that be, pray tell? Naturally, the whereabouts of the real murder weapon. Dogen's knife. Mr. Edgeworth, is that really true? Yes, it's a lie. I find that hard to believe. This isn't a bluff, is it? You underestimate me. The word bluff does not exist in my dictionary. This is bad for my heart. There's no way you could know, because such a thing doesn't even exist! Well then, could you enlighten us? Where is the real murder weapon? Think! Somewhere the police didn't look. A blind spot in this animal-filled prison. A hiding place the warden would have complete confidence in. Hiding place. To think of it. It was inevitable. Anubis, show them your mouth. The same method? No. Can't be, could it? But there aren't that many ways to hide things from an investigator's eye. Prosecutor Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting? It's possible, but I'm taking a big gamble here. The place where the real murder weapon is hidden is here! Boop-a-doo!
Take that!
In the alligator! In the courtyard? Indeed. That's not enough information. Please show us in more detail. Where is the real murder weapon? It's here in the alligator's mouth. That's it! Back then! Huh? What's the matter, detective? It looks like the metal detector is reacting to this alligator. Really? Why? Of course, that's why the metal detector reacted. Judge Courtney, I'd like you to take a look at this. The chisel? Wasn't that just the fake murder weapon? Dogen hid this chisel inside his dog's mouth. And the real murder weapon was hidden in a very much the same way. The real murder weapon is in the pond inside the alligator! What?! What?! We can confirm the metal detector reacted to the alligator. Judge Courtney, please have the insides of the alligator examined. I give my consent. We'll have to call a veterinarian. I can make the little girl open her mouth. Can I help? Yes, go ahead. Warden Roland, discovering the real murder weapon will settle this matter once and for all. Why don't you do the honorable thing and confess now? What would I have to confess? In that case, you could just wait for your fate to be sealed. We found it, sir. Just when you said it would be. It's over. Patricia Roland, The real murder weapon is none other than Dogen's knife. And the one who murdered Horrence Knightley can only be you. Dogen was the evil one. I didn't do anything wrong. It was completely reasonable. That guy was one of Dogen's henchmen. If only I'd never come to my home. I could at least still be happy. My special paradise. He ruined it, all of it. Him, that no good assassin. Him. What? She had a bunch of furry babies on her. What the heck? What? March 28th, 12:34 p.m. Detention Center, hallway. Mr. The Best of the Best, we have the results. The best of the best. It's like even the forensic officers have it tough. We found traces of Knightley's blood on Dogen's knife. It was just like you said. You're the best, Mr. The Best. Alright, good job. But don't stop there. Keep the praise coming. Yes, sir. You're so incredible, it brings tears to my eye. From sorrow. Well done, Sebastian. Next comes the follow-up investigation. Huh? What are you talking about, Justine? Hasn't the case been solved already? We have not yet confirmed if Knightley truly was one of Dogen's henchmen. There's also a chance that Warden Roland jumped to conclusions. Oh! This is the last remaining uncertainty in this case. Anyways, let's keep investigating. Hey, you there, come with me. It's on the best. The truth will appear before me first. When the moment arrives, make sure you don't miss it. Yes, sir! I'm looking forward to witnessing your first readability. Let's go! We live in troubling times, wouldn't you agree? The would-be assassin of the president was found murdered in the prison. Knightley had planned to assassinate the president. The truth is not as vital as you seem to believe it to be. Not in the world, and not to the law. That can't be right. Believe what you will, however. As long as Prosecutor Edgeworth remains a prosecutor, it is an inescapable reality. A prosecutor is not someone who demands a guilty verdict. That is what I believe. Those are merely your values. The law is not the plaything of any one person. If you will not submit to that, you will do well to prepare for the consequences. What's that supposed to mean, pal? Don't tell me you're gonna... Now then, this is where I must take my leave. Prosecutor Edgeworth? Judge Courtney is right. A law should not serve any one person's desires. However, the truth is bent as a result of that. Can that really be called justice? Ah, Simon! Boss! What happened? They said you, should come out already. Well, honestly, I don't know for sure. All of a sudden, they were like, you're free to go, and you should thank Mr. Edgeworth. Well, that's because he found out who the real murderer was. Really? He did? Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, no way. Even if you glare at me like that, it's useless. I'm innocent after all, you can't make me guilty. Simon! You should thank him, you know? You're right. Thank you very much. I want to thank you too. What grief. Mr. Defense Attorney, can I ask you just one more question? Yes, you may. I'm not a defense attorney. I thought that Natalie and I were friends. No, I mean best friends. I always thought we were. You don't think so anymore? Well, I'm just wondering. There were some things I had no idea about. Like how you could hate someone enough to kill them. That's why maybe you never trusted me either. Simon, that's not true. You're lying! Because if I had known, I could have stopped him. I would have told him he had no need to be angry with anyone. Mr. Keys, I don't think he disliked you either. Show him proof that Natalie trusted him.
Take that!
That's why I gave to... Natalie hid a chisel inside it. Most likely to aid in his escape. He escaped? He used me? He trusted in you. He knew you'd bring it to him without looking into it and without question. And in doing just that, you were caught up in everything. You idiot! Looks like he gets it. Simon is not as dumb as he looks, after all. I'm sure he'll be back to normal by tomorrow. Was that supposed to be a compliment? Oh, I'll be strong. I'll become splendid while animal tamer for Natalie's sake. Excellent. That's the spirit. I almost forgot. If you like, please come to our next show. I'll also be performing in it. The Betty Big Circus is always fabulous and fun for all ages. Sounds like fun. Let's go, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I'll think about it. Well, we need to get back to practicing right away. You'll be with, Bridget today. What? The tiger? No way, no way, no way, no way! It'll be fine. He's a good boy. No way. There's no way it'll be fine. Please cut me a break, boss! And there they go. But man, bravo, bravo. You really put on a good show today, Miles. It's all thanks to you, Mr. Shields. Without your help, she might have gotten away. Not to mention allowing us to continue the investigation. Oh man, cut it out already. You're gonna make me blush. You never know when you're being serious. Uncle Ray is always serious. So how was it, Miles? How did it feel to be a defense attorney? To save people? Defense attorney. That really took me back. It was just like being next to your old man again. It's been a while since I felt this good. It was, well, somewhat difficult to say it was a good thing. Come on, Miles. You sure you don't want to be a defense attorney? What? You know, pick up where your father left off. Don't you want to save people like he did? What are you talking about, pal? Mr. Edgeworth is a prosecutor. But is it really that unusual for a prosecutor to become a defense attorney these days? Unusual isn't the problem here. Hey, don't be so upset. It's normal, you know. Normal. It's not. Normal, pal. You all make for a powerful defensive team. Mr. Shields, I am a prosecutor. And Uncle Ray is a defense attorney. That's why I'm being serious about this. Well, that's just my opinion. Feel free to drop by anytime if you have a change of heart. I'll be waiting for you. Follow in my father's footsteps. Me become a defense attorney. I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my dad! Should I become a defense attorney? Like my father? There we go. We have solved another case. The Imprisoned Turnabout. And next time, I'll see you all over at Inherent Turnabout. Till then, though, thank you all for watching. Sayonara. Bye-bye.